We did a lot of the same things today. We just didn't get the big plays. You know, we had a couple, we didn't hit them. We had one here and we threw it too far over the route and we didn't get it. So those things, if you don't get those big plays, you know, or we don't benefit too. We were just watching the Kansas State game. 2 of our first 4 scores against Kansas State, we started on the 3-yard line and the 5. Well, you don't get that in a scrimmage. You don't get that momentum changers that you get in a game and a flow of a game that your defense provides for you. So that makes it hard.
Personnel-wise, do you have many questions right now? Or do you come out of camp feeling like the depth chart is, in your mind, is fairly settled?
Well, it's fairly settled. Where we have questions is in the guys that are going to have to go in and play, you know, that haven't been around. I mean, there's no way around it. You don't have self-inflicted wounds like Herschel Sims and Michael Bowie and Michael Harrison that didn't have anything to do with graduation and not take a hit along with the guys you lost. I mean, so all these young guys are coming along, and I think they're all going to have to play a number of positions. I think they're talented guys. It's just you can't replace experience. You just can't. You can't just all of a sudden speed up their process. We're trying like heck to, but you know that'll come. So like I said, we're awfully thin on offense. We're good enough with the guys we have right now, but we certainly don't need anybody else to not be with us. You know, personality-wise, you know, he's a lot like Brandon, you know, just because he's very even-keeled. He has, you know, kind of the similar pocket presence, you know, and he's accurate like he is. You know, you rarely see a throw that's not, you know, even the ones on the sideline that maybe we didn't catch, or, you know, he's a very accurate thrower. So probably a lot like that. But you know, it's hard to say. Everybody's kind of their own guy, but probably like that.
Sure. Anybody else need Charlie more?
So
Probably been asked this, but would you just talk about your young receivers a little bit and how some of those guys have progressed?
Well, they're all doing good and they're all getting a bunch of reps. You know, the tough thing is that you know, when you practice, the mistakes that they make don't seem as big because it's not as critical in practice. You just kind of move on and you move on and it doesn't really matter. Then you get in a scrimmage and all of your players, when they each have their breakdowns, then it magnifies. You know, now all of a sudden, dang, we missed that opportunity because we just weren't on the same page or he didn't adjust the right way. But they're all talented guys. You know, all of them are going to play, I think, this year. If not, they're all capable of it athletically. Now, whether mentally they can get lined up and do everything right, I don't know. You know, that'll be determined, because when you start going faster and you start getting tired, you know, that doesn't help us any. You know, now it's the tempo and all that doesn't help you any if our young receivers are out there and they don't have any idea what they're doing. They're playing slow. That would be the silliest thing we would want to do. That wouldn't help us any. So, but they're doing fine, and they're all working hard at it. It's just mentally they can come and keep practicing hard and doing things we ask them to do.